Okay. Well, I am back after a long absence from YouTube, recording videos of my games. I can definitely tell you that I've done a lot of work. On the surface, things look exactly the same, but under the hood, like on the, behind the scenes, there's been a lot of changes. And I've learned a lot of things. Profit-wise, we're at $5,777. So that's where we're at. And our goal here today is going to be 56-53. Okay. And we're going to be playing number 14. Okay. So let's get rocking. Everything is looking the same. One thing I can tell you right off the bat that you may notice the difference here in this game. I don't know if you'll see it or not, but I mean most likely you will. But one thing I did change that I talked about a lot is when another number becomes hotter than the one that I'm actually playing, I don't wait anymore. Okay, I move to it immediately. I used to. See, I'll move to it right now. See, I normally would stay on 14, but instead I'm going to move to 21. Okay, and let me make a note on that. All right, so now we keep going on 21. Now, that's about the only change you're going to notice probably. There's been another change here in the front end. I don't go out as far as I used to. I used to go out like 90 spins. I stopped doing that because I prefer the flexibility of a smaller amount of debt. It just gives me more flexibility, less headache. Because, when your debt is small, it's relaxing. You know what I mean? It's kind of relaxing. When you're throwing up $750 or 750 units, 1,000 units in debt, I mean, that's not a big deal when you have 3,000 units, But still, I find it a little more nerve-wracking than when you're down at like maybe 500 units or 250 units instead, I just kind of like that a lot better. I don't want to deal with the higher amounts because, there is fallout to that, these higher amounts. Because what happens is statistically, eventually, your method, which works so well almost all the time, is going to fail. And then you're stuck at the higher amount, having to then recover. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to say. I don't want to deal with that, and that's where the headache comes from. The stress comes from. It comes from the 1 in 100 or 1 in 1,000 or whatever the number is. I mean 100 or 1,000 or 500 or whatever. Where you fail, and if your debt amount is too high, when you was risking too much money to recover, when in the recovery process, if you were risking too much, when you fail like that, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot. Okay, and so, like I said, that's why I changed my front end a little also, so I don't go out the full 90 spins. I don't do that anymore. So, other than that, it looks exactly the same. I just found some ways to be like way more conservative on the recovery, and I've learned some like incredible things. And I'm way more relaxed now than I was. I'm like more confident too because I'm being more conservative about it, and like I said, if your debt's low, your stress is low. You know, it's more relaxing. And there's always risk in roulette, always, constantly risk. It's constant. I mean, literally, there's never a time when you're not risking, where there's not risk. It's always, it's an absolute constant. Yeah, this rocks right here, this Iron Maiden. Here it comes. Ready for this? Listen to this. Here we go. Coming up. Okay, here it goes. I don't know if you could hear that. Man, that's just like so awesome the way they did that. Anyway. $25 is strong, just pointing this out. 21 is definitely stronger. 22 is strong. Just pointing that out. That just came up. That's strong. We have 21, 25, and 22. So those are the strong numbers right now. I'm definitely staying with 21. It is the strongest at this point. So. Okay, 19 is strong now. So we haven't really clarified. We don't really know what's going on here yet. I mean, obviously 21 is the strongest number, but, you know, we've got 25, 22, and now 19 that are potentially just as strong, and now 14. So now we're back to 14 again. See? But, again, 21 is strongest, so let's see. You know, I expect 21 to come through, but it ended up being 22, and that's the thing. When you're not clarified, when the situation isn't clarified, you know anything could happen. That goes away. The longer you play, you know, the more that disappears. The questioning about which number is strongest and all that. You know, so the picture gets better as time goes by. Oh my. Okay. I forgot to do something. So let me try to figure out. Let's see. We're at 56. 23. Okay. So let me do a little math here. Let's see. 56, 23 plus. Minus. Okay, 19. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go 38. 35. Okay. All right. There we go. And let's see here. If I do. Let's see. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay. Alright, so now we're switching to 22 now. Affectionately, I call 22 swans, because, like, look right there. It's the head of the whole roulette racetrack, 22. Swans. So if I was going to make it like a casino, I'd call it the Swans Casino, named after 22 Black. So anyway, there you go. And let's see if we can get 22 to come back for us. 21 is about to gap. Okay. I'm going to go numbers. see if I can check this out. Instead of 38, so I'm going to say 38 numbers bet, so then it'll be 41. Alright, there we go. And 23. Okay, good. Alright, so let's see if 22 comes back. 21 has officially gapped. Okay. Alright, something else I'm going to do here. Alright. Okay, let me close that. Just trying to improve performance here. When the recording software, takes its toll on the performance. The casino takes up a lot of resources in the browser. And I don't actually know. I don't remember. I checked into it before, but I don't know if you download the client, if it's better on the resources. I don't remember. But that client is a little bit slower, And there's also some issues. But, I may have fixed those issues. There was a sound issue that was associated with the download client where it wouldn't play sounds. It would take over my speaker, my PC speaker system, and I found a way to get by that by using alternate channels, and I've implemented it in the software so the software can play multiple sounds at once in different channels, but I don't know if that's going to work. So I just don't know. And looks like we're going to miss here. We're coming close up to a miss. We'll see if we make it. Okay, if not, then we'll get a recovery on this video. See what happens. See if the swans come in for us. Okay, we've officially missed. Okay, so now it's level 2 events. This is now level 2. And let's just see what happens. How quickly we can get a recovery and maybe get to our profit goal. Sometimes it happens really quick, And there's a good chance of that. I mean, I'll know more in about 10 spins. Let's just see what happens. Number 11 is looking really good, by the way. I'm just mentioning that now. It's the second strongest number. It's actually looking like a stronger number. Like, in other words, I would switch to it, but that's not what I do. In other words, there's a lot of equity in number 22 right now. Okay, 31 is strong. So I'm staying where the equity is. It's in number 22. So that's where I'm staying. So now we have 22, 11, and 31. The strongest historically is the number 11. I mean, as far as historical performance, the way that it's structured, its performance is stronger because it's had a gap. Number 11 has gaps. Now I just realized 31 has too, but 11 has gapped more recently. So 11 and 31 are both really strong, but it's just that 11 is stronger according to historical analysis. But 22 is strongest with equity, you know, with the static odds of hitting that type of thing. But 22 has now officially gapped. Oh, and there it is. All right, well that takes care of that issue. All right, and let's see. Yeah, I'll take this. I'm going to attempt to close out the debt in one shot here with the Swans. And this is now the Swans are kicking butt. Now this is really, really good. You know, I would actually press here, you know, but I don't do that. It's like I haven't implemented a press method, you know, like I'm still focused on getting the profit, you know, like when you're recovering, get the profit back to profit. Just get profit, you know. Don't worry about parlaying like for higher profit, like, you know, like throwing your winnings into a higher, like that. I mean, that is part of recovery, but I mean, above and beyond your recovery amount, that type of thing. Don't do that. And also when I'm not in debt, you know, I'm just doing level 1. I don't press there either. There are times when I want to, but it just really messes things up, because when your press misses, it really, really goes south if you're not in, like, because you're actually already pressing. I mean, you're already raising, you know, and so then when you add to that, when it goes south, it makes it way worse. So in other words, so I don't press beyond profit at any point. I don't have a method for it, you know, yet. I mean, I would love to do that. There's a lot of people that are, you know, professional roulette players that's their method. You know, they take their winnings, they roll it into another bet, and then they roll it into another bet, and they make a lot of money really quick, and then they're done, you know. And I haven't really designed anything like that, you know. But right here, this would be a time where, oh, number 11, ooh. Okay, 11 and 15. Now we're looking at 11 and 15 are strong. Okay, strongest is 22, hands down. It's not even a contest. But there's not much equity difference between 22 and 15 as far as static odds. But 22 is definitely the strongest number, without a doubt. Yep, no doubt about it. And I do expect it to come in here. But stiff competition in number 15 and number 11. And number 17, by the way, that just came in also. Okay, 14's not, it gapped, and it's not a contender at the moment. I'm not saying it's a bad number, but it's just not a contender. Oops, 36. Well, we got stiff competition here, so 22 is still strongest. I mean, without a doubt, I want to stay here. I don't want to go anywhere else. There's no number that's better that I would, in any way, that I'd want to be on except 22. But, I mean, these other numbers are looking good, too, you know, like 36. And there it is. So, all right, nothing I can do about this. My hand's tied. I got to go to number 36, so that's what I'm doing. I don't like it. I really don't. But I'm sick of getting snowballed, you know, like my favorite song, part of the song again. But anyway, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of, like, not switching to the best, strongest, fastest number. And by the way, this is 36 is the third generation right here. It is hot. And you know, in the past, like I was saying, I would stay with 22 instead of going to 36. But I stopped doing that. Now I'm going with 36. It is like the hottest, fastest number on the board. Nothing can compare with it. And I go with the speed. That's what I do. Whatever number is fastest, man, I go with it. You know, and so Let's roll up this equity with number 36. And we may not get another hit in time. Like, we're going to have to go into recovery because, you know, I'm only going to go out so far in an attempt to close the session. I'm not going any farther than 20, 19, plus 20. So that's 28. So in other words, another 7 spins, and I'm stopping, and I'm going to start recovering. Okay, 5 more spins. By the way, 0 and 19 are very strong. Those are the numbers now. It's 36, 0, and 19. So that's like amazing how rapidly that changed. And they really are serious contenders. Okay, 2 more spins. 36 is great. It's not gapping at this point, and it won't be gapping, but I'm still gonna stop because it's all about my exposure. It's not about the number I'm on. It's about the exposure, my overall exposure. And there you go. So I'm going to go into recovery now. So let's see here. All right, let's do that. So. All right. Now what we're doing is going to be minimizing our losses. I mean, you know, like if you want to know what's better, it's better to be conservative than it is to be aggressive. I'm not saying aggression doesn't have its place, because it does. But there's, you know, it's like aggression also has, even though it has its place, it definitely has its limits, okay? You can only, like, in other words, aggression can, you really end up being aggressive against yourself, you know, self-aggression, you know, which is stupid. You know, don't be stupid. It's like you know, you gotta be careful. You know, it's like playing with dynamite. So you gotta put a limit. You got, you know, like Clint Eastwood says, a man's gotta know his limitations. So I mean, that's very, very important. It makes all the difference in the world. It really does. It makes a difference between losing and winning. You know, it really does. Because our funds are limited, man. I mean, we only have so much money to work with, okay? And if we lose our bankroll, we're done. You know, it's game over. You know, so being conservative is more important than being aggressive. But being aggressive is necessary. Like, you have to be aggressive to win. Because roulette is a negative expectation game, okay? So if you're not aggressive, you won't win. You just keep losing over and over. It won't let you, like roulette won't let you go. It won't let you win unless you're aggressive. Because you have to defeat the house edge. You have to defeat the house edge, and you won't without being aggressive. You can't defeat the house edge without being aggressive. So that's how it works. And 36 is about to miss officially. So it looks like it was a good choice that I chose to be conservative. And that's where being conservative pays off, is when things don't go as you planned, you know, and then all of a sudden, like, you're looking like way better than you would have been otherwise. Wow. All right, so number 19 just took over. All right. Let's see what we come up with here. Well, you know, there's the best thing about positive variance is, I mean, it's the only way we win. Okay, positive variance is the only way that we can win at roulette. And it doesn't make sense. In other words, there's no way to make sense of positive variance. It just happens. And I mean, it's an objective fact. It's a known. There will always be positive variance, and you can always identify where it is. Yeah, all right. Wow, so we just had a double loss event. Pretty amazing. So number 26 is strong. 19 is stronger, but 26 is a strong contender. So right now it's between 19 and 26. Things have not clarified here. We really don't know what direction the wheel's going here. But 19 is where we need to be. That's where positive variance is at its strongest, is number 19. And number 26 following closely behind. Very closely. So it could go either way. It's almost a coin flip, but 19 is stronger. I could actually give you an exact percentage, but I don't feel like going to dig for it. It's a small amount. It's not that much. Might be like 10% or something. But I stick with that. You know, I go where I call it equity. Ooh. Okay. So it's good. We're minimizing our losses here. That's what we want to do. And we're just waiting for the pattern. Okay, roulette makes a pattern. And sometimes it takes a while for it to kick in. Okay? And we're just waiting for that to happen. And we, 26 is definitely the strongest positive variance. So we're gonna stick with it, and we definitely expect it to continue, and that's why we're on it. So far, we've had a pretty significant amount of misses, gapping misses. Yeah, we've had quite a bit of loss. Ooh. All right. Try to figure out what to do here. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty much stuck. Let me just take a look at something real quick. Okay, here's where I'm going to be a little bit aggressive, okay? I'm going to do a very small attack. Okay? And it's, you know what? That's what it takes to win games, okay? You have to show aggression at the right time. And that's the key. Timing is the key. You can't just be blindly aggressive. I mean, you could, and it probably will work if you're blindly aggressive. You know, with, you know, to some, like, you could, like, have no reason that you're being aggressive. It's only because you just got a hit. You could just say, I just got a hit, I'm going to be aggressive now. And that probably will work. I don't do that at 100%. I definitely don't do that. I mean, I have a reason as to why I'm being aggressive. I mean, statistically, I'm betting against a particular pattern. I don't think we're going to have a loss here. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the chances are greater that we're going to have a winning move, a winning event. And so I'm being a tiny bit aggressive. I'm being the least amount of aggression that I can show and still have it be significant enough. And, you know, so I'm risking a very small amount more than I normally would. And that's the thing, you keep your aggression under control by the amount, and you keep it under control based on your timing. You're not always aggressive. You know when to be aggressive, when not to be aggressive, and you know the limit of your aggression, how aggressive you're going to be. You have to keep that under control too. And that's definitely a key to winning as well. You got to do all of that. Ooh. So we are expecting a hit here, well, it may not be within our scope, which is okay. The reason why I chose to be aggressive is because I'm postulating that even if I don't get a hit, you know, like right away, on the back end of that, in other words, very soon after that, I'm going to get a hit. So I'm expecting a hit, either immediate profit or at least some of my profit back. A large portion of the amount that I risked is going to come back. That's what I'm expecting. So that's why I chose that as a time to be aggressive. Okay. And I didn't risk very much. I only risked a little bit more than I normally would. So, you know, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable. And that's important. Yep. So, let's see what happens. Oh, we keep doing that. All right, number 0. The 0 is now a contender. Much, much stronger is number 26. Much stronger. I mean, probably by 50%. It's probably 50% stronger, number 26. And so that's why I'm staying with number 26 and not moving to 0. 0 is stronger historically, but number 26 is stronger on equity, you know, like static odds, again by about 50%. So that's why I'm staying with number 26 and not moving to 0. Looks like we're not going to get a hit, but I mean, you know, there's still 7 spins, I guess. Number 11 just came in. So now we have number 26, 0, and 11. And the other handful of spins here, and I'm going to have to back off on this press. And there it is. Unbelievable. All right. There we go. So I'm done with that. And I've got 4 more spins here, so let's see if we can get a back-to-back here. 0 is definitely stronger than 26 historically, and now it's stronger on position. I mean, like, it's got more positive variance. It's where the strongest positive variance is as far as all numbers go. So, and okay, so we're backing off on the press now. So 1 second. All right. And our press missed. You know, when you take a shot and you miss, the question is how much damage did you do? And you know, it's just only a little bit. I'm comfortable with it. You know, you have to show aggression. You have to do it. Let's see here. You know, and you know, if we don't moderate, 26 did come in. If we don't moderate our aggression, things will spiral out of control very quickly. So that's extremely important that we monitor our that we moderate our aggression. So okay, so we just got a hit. I'm not very happy. Yep. All right, I'm going to go again with the least amount of aggression that I can. And let's just see what happens. I mean, I don't have much of a reason I really don't have much of a reason to be aggressive. It's just that if I get a hit here, I'm gonna reach a statistical shelf, and I'd like my debt to be as low as possible when I hit that shelf. So I'll risk the least amount of money that I can in order to have the most profit that I can if I get a hit. So I'm just basically protecting myself so that, again, it's kind of like it's aggression. A self-protection, defensive aggression. Defensive aggression is really what that is. So let's see if we can get a hit, and it'll put me in better position. And if we miss, we're not risking too much more. So we're at 38 minutes, and again, I'm just trying to see, because I know eventually the software is going to crash, like in another 30 minutes or so, it's going to crash. So, I mean, let's try to get this wrapped up here. I may end it earlier than I normally would because I'm recording. See if I can do that. If I get a hit here, it'll be really helpful to accomplish that. Yeah, I'm going to hit the statistical shelf in about 30 spins. So I'm going to have about 16 spins of exposure where if I get a hit there, I'm going to be kind of a little bit embarrassed with a little bit more money on my hands than I would want in debt. So I just hope I get a hit now. I don't have to worry about it. Yeah. All right. There we go. So I'm in much better shape. I mean, it was a late hit. Don't get me. It was kind of late hit, so I didn't really get as close as I wanted to. Yeah, I ain't risking that. That's a fact. I mean, I just don't have any reason to be that aggressive. So, there we go. Alright. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go right here. I'm just going to show a little bit of aggression. There's no absolute reason for it. I just feel like doing it. I mean, there's no doubt that I have negative variances happening here, okay? So I'm in a position to where I'm statistically favored, you know, but I usually like to have more reason. You know, like I like to have more, like not just negative variance. I don't want to only have negative variance being the reason that I'm being aggressive. I like to have other reasons within the negative variance to make it even stronger. And then I like to be aggressive. But I don't know. It just seems, and I just got a hit. Like, you know, I just got a hit. And so I'm showing the least amount of aggression that I can. You know, so I'm not just sitting here because, you know, it's like it's like a timer, a statistical timer that's running against us. You know, it's like we're running against the clock. It's like a race, it really is. We're racing against the statistics because the statistics are good. It's like a window of opportunity. You know, like if a spaceship has to land on the Earth even, or any planet, the planet has a rotation, a gravitational rotation. And they call it a window. You have only so much of a window when you get into orbit to land where you want to land because the planet's moving. And it's the same thing in roulette. Statistically, there's a window of opportunity, you know. And if you don't get your profit within that window, you're probably going to get slammed back down and you're going to lose more, you know what I mean? So that's where aggression is required because you have to, you know, you can think of it as, you know, in a car, you know, you have your green light, yellow light, red light, you know, and in order to make it before the light turns red, you have to accelerate, okay? And so you have to know, you can't, you know what I mean? You can't go too fast. You know, you lose control. You can't, and you won't be able to stop if you have to. You know, and you can't. If you go too slow, you're not going to make it. So there's a balance. You gotta get it just the right speed. Okay, another late hit here, basically at this point. If we get a hit. Did the best I could. I tried. And a couple of hits. I'm assuming I get a hit here and a couple more hits. You know, I'm going to hit it, that window's going to close, if you will, and that's going to be how well I did. Wow, okay. So number 11 just came in. I don't see, historically, I don't see any reason for it. It just is what it is. So let's go with it. Let's hope we get a quick hit. And I'm going to go with another 9 spins here. There's 11. I got 1-1. Dang, we're going to crash. This software is going to crash. No one's going to see this video. I'm talking to myself. Oh, goodness gracious. 11 and 0 are where we're at right now. And you know what? Those really are the numbers. They have really clarified strongly. And yeah, they are. It's 11 and 0. I definitely, like, if I was gonna bet 2 numbers, it would be like 11 and 0, man. And like, forget the rest of the numbers. Forget them. All right. So we just got a hit, and that means our press came through. Wow. All right. So it wasn't very. It was a late hit. So it's not like we're doing ecstatically well or anything. But okay, I'm gonna go one more. Dang, that really sucks. I really don't have any room here. I kind of have to just, like, let's see here. All right. This is the most amount of aggression I can possibly show. And, you know, positive variance is what positive variance does. So let's just see. Let's just give it a rip here. And after this, whatever hit comes here, there's going to be a built-in press on this attack. There's going to be a built-in press, so I'm going to let that occur naturally. I'm not going to force it. That's the least amount of money I can risk. And here it is. There it is. There's the press. And after this hit, assuming I get a hit, ooh, that was close. There's no such thing as close, but whatever. As soon as I get a hit here, the window closed, okay? And then however much debt I have is the degree that I really kind of failed to collect, you know? And it's not like that I wasn't being aggressive. It's more along the lines of, you know, I got late hits, you know, when my aggression did work out. I did get hits on them, assuming I get one here. But they were kind of late hits, so I didn't quite get the amount that I wanted. And, you know, maybe I wasn't being aggressive enough, but then I'm happy with it, you know. Even though this statistical, if I get a hit here, the statistical window is going to close on me. You know, I'm still happy with it. I should be in really good shape. I mean, you know, not bad shape at all. Like, I'm not afraid or anything. It's like I'm not horrifically bad off. You know, I mean, I'm looking really good at this point, and I'm not risking a terribly large amount. You know, and I probably, based on this particular statistic, I mean, I probably had just over 50% chance of hitting. I mean, there are other factors involved. There's like with statistics, you can look at different statistics that give you different results, different projections, you know. And so one of them is that I got a 70% chance of hitting, like, right now. That's one statistic. That's hilarious. That was hilarious. I was like, right now. All right. So now we're starting to do really well. Okay, and the window has closed. Let me just check this out right here. Oh yeah, we're at 5 and 1 is 6. Yeah, I'm definitely going into retreat mode here. let's see. Okay, there we are. Okay, well now we're just going to let positive variance do what it does, okay? Number 11 is like exceptionally like I said, it's clarified. The situation has clarified. We're looking at 0 and 11. 0 is in hibernation. 11 is just doing its thing as the depository of positive variance. And right now we are hunkering down. Okay, we are definitely expecting now negative variance to manifest. So we are being very, very conservative. We are maximum on conservative. In other words, we're hitting the brakes. We expect that the signal is going to turn red here on us, and we're hitting the brake ahead of time because we're speeding, if you will, and we start hitting the brakes early. But number 11 is where it's at, and there's only so much positive variance that even the strongest number can have, you know what I mean? So 11 has really, really, really took off. I mean, we're talking like almost 100% positive variance, or 100% positive variance, or a total of 200%. I mean, it really is that strong. And as I was saying earlier, there's no explanation for positive variance. It doesn't have a reason. I mean, I can explain it. I can tell you exactly why it happens. I know exactly why. But what I mean when I say that is that when you look at a particular number and its behavior, I mean, you can't actually explain it. I mean, it's not like I can point to anything and say, I mean, other than the number itself, I can't point to anything and say, oh yeah, this is the cause of it, and then I can point to something that says, yeah, and this is the reason it ends. There's no way to explain it. I mean, I know that there's going to be positive variance. It will be guaranteed. I know where it's at. Okay, but I have no idea when it's going to start or where it's going to start. And I have no idea when I know where, I always know where it is, but I have no way to tell when it's going to end. So like right now, statistically, there's no reason, in other words, there's no explanation for why 11 is doing so well. Like if you look just at raw statistics, there's no reason for it. In other words, everything says, all the statistics say number 11 is going to run into a brick wall here. And it should have done so a long, long time ago. Okay, but it hasn't. It didn't. Okay? And, number 11 is behaving the way that it is because it has to. Because the way that statistics works is that there must be numbers that behave like number 11. It must happen. It's always present, and it's just an amazing feature of statistics that it's inescapable. It's like a law of statistics that this happens. Now we have a very interesting situation. You might remember number 26. Well, number 26 has just caught up to number 0, and so now they're fighting over second best at this point, but neither one of them are anywhere close to number 11. Number 11 is just absolutely crushing it. But as I said, I'm hunkering down here. I'm being the maximum conservative that I can be because I'm expecting negative variance here. And let's just see, I mean, like, we don't really care, but between 0 and 26, there's going to be one of them that's going to be the strongest. We don't really care which one. But number 0 is in hibernation. Number 26 is in acceleration. So if you ask me my opinion, I will say that number 0 is going to continue to hibernate. Number 26 is going to accelerate into second place. So that's what I think is going to happen. So let's see what actually happens. Oh, and then on the opposite end of it, then I also have another statistical opinion that number 0 is going to come in immediately. Like right now, it's going to come in, it's going to hit immediately. And it definitely will hit before number 26. So both of these are informed statistical opinions. Okay? And they both contradict each other. So, but which one do I follow? I always follow the static odds. So in other words, in this case, if I had to make a choice, which I don't, but if I had to make a choice, and number 11 just gapped, if I had to make a choice, I would say number 0 every single time. I would go with 0 every time. So, let's see which one it'll be. And so far, negative variance has manifested as predicted. I need a little bit more. So let's see if it continues. And you know, when the strongest number gaps, that's where the statistical picture can change. Wow, number 14. Number 14 number 14 from the beginning, in the very beginning. That's the number I was on, and it finally came back. And it's still okay. It's number 2 number. 14 ended up being it, not 0, not 26. It's actually 14 now. Now 0 or 26 could catch up, but right now it's number 14, and it's still nowhere close. I mean, it's not even a statistical threat yet for number 11. But like I said, number 11 is gapping, and that's the when that happens, that's when the statistical picture can change. And I don't think it will. It's very kind of difficult. This is a clarified statistical picture. It's kind of difficult for that to change. It's not impossible. That's a fact. It's definitely not impossible. Okay, there's number 26. So now 26 is in contention for 14. So that was the statistical opinion that came through at this point. I definitely, I was going to say number 26 is stronger. But now we have number 14 accelerating. 14 is now in the neighborhood. 14 is in the neighborhood. I'm not going to say it's a threat, but it's on the radar now. Do I think 11 is definitely going to be carrying the day? Absolutely, and I think it'll happen any spin. I mean, I expect it any spin. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. And what's 26 going to do? I believe it'll surpass 14 is what I was saying. But right now it's running behind. 14 is actually stronger. But I think 26 is going to overtake 14. I actually do. I think 14 is going to slow down. And 26 is going to speed up. That's what I think. And we're at 58 minutes, so any second now the software is probably going to crash. Probably sometime in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So it doesn't... I mean, it could happen fast. We could get a recovery faster. The debt is very low. So let's hope. I'm just continue to spin and see if we can get it. I mean, literally, you could get like 3 hits in a row and game over. Or like 3 hits within 10 spins. I mean, that type of thing. But yep, man, it looks like this negative variance, it just hit. Okay, negative variance just manifested. All right, so there it is. So now I'm going to be a little bit aggressive here. You won't be able to tell, but there most likely is going to be a natural press that's going to be, there it is. Okay, not as aggressive as I needed to be, but that's okay. Because now we have opportunities to be aggressive. Now is the time to be aggressive. So let's see what we're looking at. I'm not going to be that aggressive. Yeah, I think, yeah, I'm going to put myself out. I'm going to be strongly aggressive. I could kind of take it easy here, but I'm going to fight. And it's not because of the recording, but let's be a little more, let's maximize our aggression within the limits of sanity. So let's see what we can get here. I'm willing to take that risk. It's not that bad. And definitely expecting a hit here, like super, for every reason under the sun, expecting a hit here. I mean, we're talking, let's see, that's 3, that's 5 and 2, 7. 3 and 3 is 6. Right. So, yeah. I mean, we have a really good chance. Like, I think it's like 70%. Yeah, or high 60s. So, I mean, it's not that great of a chance, actually. But I like the historical picture for number 11 a lot. Also, I don't believe we're gonna miss here. So on the back end, even if we miss up front, on the back end, I believe we're gonna get a hit anyway to kind of cover us. So I mean, those things combined makes me want to be as aggressive as I can be. I mean, like, not super conservative. You know, I think this is the time for some focused aggression, like where we are taking advantage of a advantageous situation. That's what we're doing here. And again, you know, when we do this, we have to be prepared for the amount that we're risking. You know, when we're making an aggressive move, we need to like factor in what it's going to look like if we lose. And we have to make that part of the picture because, you know, we could miss. So, I don't think we're gonna miss. That's why I'm betting. And so far, 14 is ahead of 26. And number 17 just passed number 26. So now we'll have 17 and 14 fighting for second place. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. There we go. All right. So that's what I'm talking about right there. Let me just take a look at this real quick. We've got, let's see, 5 and 2 is 7 and 1 is 8. 3 and 3 is 6. So I'm going to do the minimum amount of aggression that I can. I wonder what that is. Let's see here. Okay. Man, that looks really good. But I want to take it out to the minimum. Alright, so there it is. There's the minimum that I'm going to do. I think we're going to get a hit here. But it's kind of tight. One picture says we have like just over 50%. Another one says we have like 65%. Static odds say about 64%, 63, 60, somewhere in the 60s, low 60s. So, that's what I like. I like when it's better than 50%. And all the statistical pictures that I look at, every different way that I look at it, it's like over 50%. It's in the 60s. For the most part. So, yeah, this is a good risk. I like this one a lot. And we're right on the edge, though, of needing to retreat. In other words, statistically, we're kind of pushing it to its limit. So it's kind of like, it's good, when we're that close. It's good, when we have the window open still. It's good to do some aggression. It's like the light has turned yellow, and we got this one small window of opportunity to get a score and get through the intersection before we have to slow it way down. And historically 11's looking good. There's no reason to think that it's okay. So now let me think for a second. Yeah, all right, so I'm going to retreat now. I'm starting to back down, although there's probably going to be a natural press. It's probably going to press up again, so I'll just let it do its thing. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Number 26 is in the running with number 17 and number 14. None of them are a threat at this point for number 11. And let's just see what happens if we get a natural attack or not. I don't really care if we do or not. I just want to be comfortable with the amount of money that I risk. So I'll let nature take its course. And again, 11's looking great historically. As I was saying, there's no reason. Now 17 is on the radar. Good strong number 17. Okay, there it is. Natural. There's the natural aggression. So I save some money. So that's why that happens. You actually tuck a little bit of money away, and then you can come back and do your aggression. So I like that. And I think I'll get a hit here, and then it's time to back way off. Ooh. Yeah, it's getting late. That signal is about to turn red. And software's about to crash too. So we kind of needed a hit here if we wanted to end the recording on time, I did the best I could. Oh yeah, late hit, but we're doing extremely well. We may be able to close this out. Let's take a look at this. 163, boy, I tell you what, I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna freaking, oh, I can't, oh, see, I'm supposed to back down. Yeah, I'm supposed to back down here. All right, I'm gonna back down. I know the recording, but I'm not going to be stupid about it. I'm just going to... Yep, I'm going to just back down because I expect negative variance. And if I don't get negative variance, I'll be in incredibly good shape if I just get a hit. So you know, I expect negative variance, so I'm retreating, you know. I'm expecting negative variance, and that's it. We're done pressing. You know, like we had said before, I'm staying consistent, right? Remember, I said we got a small window. We're going to be aggressive, and then we're going to back down. And that's what I'm doing. I'm backing down. You know what I mean? Like, you get overly excited, like, oh, yeah, positive variance and blah, 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 and, you know, like that. And you use statistics, you know, they nail you. All the hard work that you did, because now we're incredibly low on the debt. And all the hard work that you did gets erased because you don't lock in the profits. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We're locking in those profits. We got a really good debt amount right now, really low debt amount. We need to protect it in the face of statistics that show it's time for a reversal. Okay, you know, that's how traders do it, right? They have their indicators that show them that when a market is overextended, and, you know, they act accordingly. You know, they sync up their stop loss or whatever. So that's what we've done. We've locked in our profits, and we're waiting for a new opportunity. So that's what we're doing. Now, some people play just spinning the wheel without betting in a situation like this. You know, I could do that, but I don't want to. You know, I prefer betting. I like betting. And that's just me. Sorry. That's my method, and it works. It works. You know, like what we're doing here, this flat betting, it works. And that's what I prefer. You know, because if we take a glass half full approach, like I'm thinking, well, you know, I'm betting on positive variance, and so I might as well be in the game spinning, you know, with money down, ready to reap as much as I can, you know. Because you never know. I mean, like, you end up, I don't know. I just don't like that whole idea about virtual play. I mean, I guess it makes sense. I guess it does. I guess it's like trading, you know. It really is more like the trading model to, you know, not bet, spin and watch and, you know, wait for an entry point, if you will, you know. I just think it's a downward slope. I mean, I just like the way I'm doing it now, and plus the problem is that in this casino you cannot spin without placing a bet. So that means every time the zero hits, you lose 2 units. There we go. All right. So now we're even in better shape. So I am definitely going for this now. I am definitely no. I can't take. I want to take this shot. Let me just think for a second. I'm expecting negative variance, so screw it. I am not taking it. I'm gonna stick to my guns. And if I get a hit here, great. You know, I'm going to be, like, almost out of here. Like, you know, we could end this video on a positive note if I get a hit here. But I'm just, I mean, I had a really good shot. In other words, I wasn't risking very much money at all. And I could have taken that shot. But we really are in a position where we're overextended, okay? So I think it's better to just be totally conservative about it. And this locks in the profits. It keeps the debt from spiraling out of control. And it's really the best way to play. I mean, yeah, you play for a little bit longer, but it's nice to just kick back and cruise, and I'm not doing it because I'm scared. I'm doing it because statistically I'm overextended. I mean, I'm talking about raw statistics here. And also, even historically, number 11 is pretty much, there's no actual reason that I can point to number 11 historically to say, oh yeah, I think it will continue to provide hits. We're past that point. We're at the point now where and so 11 is kind of gotten the hits that I would normally expect it to get. And then statistically, wins and losses and stuff, I'm overextended. And so, I pretty much don't want to be risking. I mean, I want to risk the least amount of money possible here. I really do. So that's what I'm doing. And this is good. I'm expecting negative variance. And we're about halfway through our cycle with number 11 here. Let's see what happens. Wow, 14. Remember 14? Now we have 22. Remember 22? 21 and 14. No, wait a minute. That's not right. Let me try that again. Number 11, 22, and 21. Sorry, those are the numbers. 11, 22, and 21. 17, 6, and 14. Yeah, there's, okay, so what I've just realized is that while I was talking, there's a lot of competition on the board here, which is kind of strange because 11's been hitting pretty good. Yeah, they're at 16. Okay, well, yeah, that's a squabble in the countryside there. It's no threat to the castle. It's really number 17 at this point is looking to be the best one, and all these other numbers are basically contending against number 17, but 17 is clearly the strong favorite here. So no threat to number 17 is on the radar, but no threat at this point. And there's just a whole host of, it seems like the competition is getting a little bit closer out there, which is strange. Because, again, 11's been doing really well. I wouldn't have expected the competition to kind of creep up. But it's kind of normal. Ooh. 17 is now moving in. It's nowhere near a threat, but it's very close to being threatening. Yeah, it's a strong number 17. But 19, clearly the front runner. But we may be looking at a statistical change here. Because 11 looks like it's going to start to gap. And this is the projected negative variance that I was talking about. That's what it looks like we're hitting into here. We're getting real close to that picture. Yep. If we don't get a hit on number 11 here, pretty soon we may be looking at a changing of the guard. Ooh. All right. Now how are we doing? Well, only slightly better than we were the last time. It's kind of a quandary. Again, what can I do? I'm just going to be conservative on this, just like I was last time. There has hardly a change in the statistical picture. So let's just be conservative. Again, in the face of being statistically overextended, I don't know what to tell you about that last hit. The last hit was perfectly within expectation. So I had no way of judging that. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, no doubt it was a late hit, but I don't know how to judge hits that are right exactly at expectation. I have no way of, I don't know what to say. I mean, we're on the fastest number, on the strongest number. Statistically, as a whole, we're overextended. And historically, there's no reason to point to number 11 continuing as it is. It's just that positive variance doesn't have an explanation, like I was saying earlier. It just doesn't. I can tell you why it happens, but individual numbers, why they do what they do, there's no way to predict, put it that way. It's just, that's how roulette works, So, we follow what works, and that's what I'm doing here. It happens because it happens, because it has to. It happens because it has to. That's what it comes down to. So, number 18, by the way, has stepped up. Is now the front runner in front of all the other numbers that were contending for second place. But 17 is clearly second best on this board. And again, we're expecting negative variance, so we're being as conservative as possible. Number 22 just stepped up, and number 21. Ooh. All right. Dang. Holy goodness. All right. Let's try to close this out and end this recording. I mean, if I don't take this, I'm an idiot. And I know it's backwards. I waited to the very end to take my shot. But you know what? That's the way to do it. I mean, even though it's statistically backwards, it's also forwards on risk. Okay? Because right now I'm risking the least amount of money to take the shot. And statistically I'm overextended. Statistically I've gotten, a bunch of hits, and that means there's, like traditionally looking at it from a just base statistical perspective, I'm more likely to get a miss. But the amount that I'm risking is at its least, and that's why I'm doing it that way. That's why I do it that way, is because I want to risk the least amount of money, and I don't care about the base statistics. I already know my bet selection is the strongest that it can be. And even though it, and really positive variance, it turns statistics on its head. Oh my gosh, I was betting the wrong number. Oh my gosh, that was bizarre. Oh my gosh, that was bizarre. Oh my gosh. Alright, we're going to stop this because of the recording. I would normally press 4. No. At this point, I end this game. No matter what, I'm out of here. We're at 56.26. That should be a profit. 1 second. Yeah, okay, we got our profit is 4 units. All right, let's, thanks for watching, man, and this was a really good recovery, so I'm glad that you guys could witness this and see my progress. I haven't gone anywhere. I'm still here. I'm going to keep you guys updated. Thanks for tuning in, and talk to you guys soon.